Hello, this is Krystal Stanich, and thank you for joining me for this week's First Chapter Friday. Today I will be reading from the beginning of Alex Aster's Lightlark. You may have seen this one floating around on Book Talk, and it got a lot of attention there for a while. Chapter 1, Isla. Isla Crown often fell through puddles of stars and into faraway places. Always without permission, and seemingly on the worst occasions. Even after 5 years, hurtling still made her bones groan. She held her star stick tightly, her breath bottled in her chest, like the rare perfumes on her vanity, the glass room spinning and fractured colors bleeding together, until gravity finally pinned her down like a loose thread in the universe. And it was safely tucked down the back of her dress, along her spine, by the time the door swung open. "What happened to your hair?" Poppy shrieked so loudly. Tara came rushing in behind her, the many knives and swords at her waist clanking together. Her hair was the least of her worries, though she didn't doubt it resembled a bed of moss. Traveling between the realms, Newlands, with her star stick, had the habit of undoing even Poppy's most tightly wound coils, and firmly made braids, an unexpected perk, really. Isla didn't pretend to be an expert at using the device. In the beginning, the puddle of stars took her unexpected places. The snow villages of the moonling Newlands, the airy jubilees of the skyling Newlands, a few lands that hadn't been settled by any of the 6 realms at all. Little by little, she learned how to return to locations she had been to before. And that was the extent of her mastering of the star stick. All she knew for certain was that somehow, the mysterious device allowed her to travel hundreds of miles in seconds. Tara sighed, hand dropping from the hilt of her blade. "It's just a few loose strands, Poppy." Poppy ignored her. She rushed over to Isla, wielding a brush and a vial of syrupy leaf oil, the same way Tara had taught Isla to brandish weapons years before. Isla grinned at her fighting teacher over her charm teacher's shoulder, and cried out as Poppy roughly removed the pins. Poppy shook her head. "Have to start from scratch." She stuck the clips between her lips and spoke around them. "I leave you alone for an hour, and you're a mess. Even locked the door for good measure. How in the realm did you manage to mess it up in your own room, little bird?" Own room. Her room was not her own. It was an orb of glass, the remnants of an ancient greenhouse. But the panes had been painted over. The windows had been sealed. All except one door had been removed. She was a little bird, just like Poppy and sometimes even Tara called her. A bird in a cage. Isla shrugged. Just some swordplay. Poppy and Tara were her only family, though they weren't family at all. Everyone who shared blood with her was long dead. Still, even they didn't know about the star stick. If they did, they would never let her use it. It was the only key out of the bird's cage, and Isla had been locked inside not just for her own safety, but for everyone else. And that is the beginning of Alex Aster's Lightlark. If you would like to check this out, it is available on Libby. Please join me here next week as I read from the beginning of Julia Quinn's Romancing Mr. Bridgerton. The new season of Bridgerton is coming out soon, and that season covers this book. So if you would like to know what's going to happen in advance, check back with me next week. Bye.